Welcome everybody. In today's video we are going to go over the study guides for both 1.5 and 1.6. So if you need either one of those, skip to the portion of the video that best suits your needs. For 1.5 we're looking at increasing and decreasing intervals. So the first thing that we have to do is identify, we'll start off with increasing. So reading a book from left to right. So even though this arrow is going down right here, when we read it from left to right, this is actually going up from left to right. So we're going to say our increasing interval is going to start at negative infinity, and it's going to go all the way until negative 3. It's going to have a gap, and it's going to start up again at positive 1, and then it is going to end at 4. After 4, it's a nice straight line. It's not going up, it's not going down. For our decreasing interval, we're going to see it starts at negative 3, and it is going to end at positive 1. And that is the only portion for which this graph, when we read it from left to right, is going down. The y values are decreasing over this interval. For our second one here, something that we can do, a different method to start off is we'll go green for up. So reading it from left to right, green, we're going up. We'll do red from left to right if we're going down. So decreasing will be in red, increasing will be in green. And we see our constant is happening here. It's neither going up nor down. So however you want to leave that, if you want to write that it is constant, that is also okay. So from 1 to 2, we are constant. We are decreasing from 0 to 1, and again from 4 to 6, and then increasing here from 2 until 4. So that is our first step. These answers are also going to be posted here in our drive. Let's pop them in here real quick. Should I put them in the wrong spot? Teacher notes. So our second task for today is going to be the 1.6. So this will take a little bit longer, but after doing the solving, everything should work just fine. So x and y intercepts without graphing means we're going to have to do some solving. So first one, if we just look for our y-intercept, this is when we see that x is going to equal 0. So we can plug in f of 0. And we are going to get an answer of our y-intercept at 0, 42. We're going to see 0 squared and 13 times 0, both simplified to 0. So we're just left with a positive 42. Second method for this, for x-intercepts, is when y equals 0. So we set this whole function equal to 0. And here I prefer the box method. That is my method of choice. However you want to do it is totally fine. So first and last term go on the first and last box, and we try to fill it in from there. For 42, if we look at 6 times 7, if we add those together, we get 13, and they multiply to get 42. So we're going to have x plus 6 and x plus 7 set equal to 0. So we can solve for both of these, and we'll get x equals negative 6 and x equals negative 7 for the x-intercepts. Number 2 is more identification. So whenever we're at the origin, this is where we're going to see that that is an x and a y-intercept, so it's both. For these 3 points right here, we're going to say that they are just x-intercepts because that's where they touch the x-axis. And that is all that we see on this graph. So just for those 4 points, just have to label them. So nothing too crazy there. Remember, x-intercepts can also be referred to as zeros. Last one here, we have 4 terms in descending order. We're going to see that each kind of pairing here has something in common. So we are going to be able to group the terms that are in common. So we have x squared in common here. And for our second one, we actually have 14 in common. And after doing this grouping, we see that we have a common shared term of x plus 4. So what that allows us to do is to further group. And when we are solving specifically for our x-intercepts, we can set these equal to 0 because y is equal to 0. So each of these individually, we're going to see x squared plus 14 is equal to 0, and we're going to see x plus 4 is equal to 0. So we'll have negative 4 for this one. Over here, we're going to get to a solution where we have a squared term is negative, which we know that that can't be the case. So what we see with that is they're not real. for these. So we have an x-intercept at x equals -4. And then the last step is we do need to do our y-intercept, so we have to plug in f of 0. What we're going to see is 0 times anything does give us 0, so f of 0, it's 56, is going to be our y-intercept. So that's all for today. Hopefully, if you can efficiently work through these study guides, you'll be in good shape to